Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the all-new Mercedes C300. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Mercedes-Benz of downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with this C300. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Yo-Yo. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering the C300 is a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 9-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 24 around town and then 33 on the highway, with power outputs being 255 horsepower and then 295 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Starting with the hood, you guys can see distinctive lines there in the center, and then they kind of are a little bit sharper there on either side. It looks cool. Got these really cool daytime running lights here, and then you guys can see the LED headlamps, and then we do have parking sensors integrated into the front end. Of course, we've got the giant Mercedes logo, and then right above that we've got the smaller one, and then look at all the Mercedes-Benz stars in the grille. That just creates a really cool effect. And putting it all together, it really does look like a baby S-Class, which is a good thing. Now, popping on the side here, our tire wheel setup is 225, 45, 18 in the front, and then 245, 40, 18 in the rear. So a slightly staggered setup. I really like this wheel design. So it has the AMG style wheels. You can actually see the little AMG logo right there. And then obviously the Mercedes-Benz star is kind of like the main part of the wheel, which is cool. And then aside from that, this basically, again, just looks like a miniature S-Class. I mean, you got the silver on the door handles, and then just look at like the shape and overall proportions. Again, it's very similar. Now here's a key fob. We have our lock function or unlock function, the opening here for the trunk, and well, pop that open. Now actually popping to the trunk with the C-Class, we've got these little latches right here to lower down the seats, and then you guys can see storage space back here. It's very solid, so that's one of the big benefits of the C-Class. And then when you're all done, just press this button right here, and that will lower the trunk back down. Got this small body painted spoiler here on the back, and then you guys can see C300, 4MATIC, and then look at the taillights. Very fancy looking. Parking sensors here at the bottom, and then we got the covers over the exhaust tips, and then you can see the diffuser as well. And putting it all together, I really do like the C-Class, the new one. It has, again, a stately appearance just like the S-Class. Now, popping inside, I really like the two different textures. You've got like a really smooth texture up top, and then you've got more of like the cowhide texture down below with the leather. You can see the stitching that goes throughout. And I love this trim piece there. It's pretty cool. Got some ambient lighting as well. And then this also looks really fancy. And then here are these seats. You guys can see really nice leather trim all down the center. I like the stitching design too. So legroom here in the rear is actually pretty solid. Got a little storage pocket right there. Got some vents, and you guys can see a little storage space. And then of course we have our armrest here in the rear as well. And then if you guys are wondering, headroom back here, solid. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see again with the material use. Got our handle, which looks pretty fancy. All of your seat adjustments on the door panel itself. And then we do have our heated seat function, memory seats. Look at the window controls, those also look very high quality. You got your mirror adjustments. The mirrors do have blind spot monitoring. And then here's a front seat. You can see perforated all down the center portion, and then you got your lumbar support there on the side. And then the pedals, those actually look very fancy. And then we've got our light controls right here, and then you probably can see more ambient lighting there. And then look at the trim on the dash. That also looks cool. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, I like how it's perforated here on either side, and then you can see it's smooth at the top and at the bottom. Just gives it a pretty cool look. Nice paddle shifters here on the back. We got some controls here for the infotainment system. We got our volume voice command controls. We have adaptive cruise control, and then also some controls here for the center stack. Regular turn signal stalk in the back, and then we have our column shifter as well. Now we do have this full digital gauge cluster here in the center, and just like other Mercedes models, it kind of doubles as like a secondary infotainment system. And I mean, look at all the different viewpoints you can do. So we can do like full nav. It's just pretty fun. But I do think that for like this car, classic probably like matches the theme the most. So in reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. You got the bird's eye view, and got like the outside views as well. It's a really cool camera system. Now, as for the rest of the infotainment system, it's just like the infotainment system in the new S-Class. So you've got some like physical buttons here at the bottom for like the volume, your shortcut to the vehicle tab, as you can see. And then you also have your drive mode select tab here, which got a few different cool drive modes. Obviously Sport Plus, that'll be exciting to use. And then we also have like an eco mode as well. That was weird. didn't work. But I had one of these for the week. I had it in comfort most of the time. But yeah, the infotainment system, as you can see, responds really well. It's just super easy to use overall. And then again, look at the trim here. That's pretty sweet. And then we've got quite a bit of storage there with the wireless phone charging pad, some USB action, some cup holders here. And then look at the center console. Got some more USBs there, and then some nice leather trim on the top. And then you can see with the dash, just like look at how all of that flows. And then at the very top, you can see the stitching and everything. That also looks really nice. And then good storage space there. And then I like the ambient lighting strip as well. I've always been a fan of Mercedes mirrors. They just look so high quality. And then we do have our sunroof here at the top. And then the control to open it is just that little swipey thing. So here's our winter sticker for the C300. You guys can see the standard equipment list here. Base MSRP $46,850, and then all the options on this particular one. Total MSRP $55,455. And let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors, blind spot monitoring, and throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. Setting off in the C300, aka the baby S class, or at least that's what everyone calls the new C300. I think this car is super underrated, to be honest. You know, I've seen some of the reviews now after, because I did my initial review in the 22 model year, and so I've now seen other people's reviews, and it seems like a lot of people kind of misunderstand this car, because a lot of people kind of look at this car and they compare it to, you know, BMW, you know, 330i, for example. I mean, that's a fair comparison. And then Audi A4. And then what I hear them always talking about is the sportiness. They're like, oh, this isn't as sporty as the BMW. Oh, this isn't as sporty as the Audi. And I just don't think that's what Mercedes is going for anymore with their non-AMG cars, because with this car, it's all about comfort. And I mean, you look at this interior, it's very beautifully designed, and it definitely has like one thing in mind, making you feel like you're in something that's high quality, high end, right? There's not like I would say there's pretty much not like maybe the steering wheel, but other than that, there's like not really a touch of sportiness in here. And so with that in mind, when you look at this car, then you kind of understand, well, yeah, maybe it's not going to have the best handling, but what you give up in handling, you gain in ride comfort. And you also gain in like just overall a very like nice luxury experience. I'd say it's quieter in here than BMW 3 Series and Audi A4, especially Audi A4. This Audi A4 almost feels like a luxury economy car to an extent. It's a nice car, but there's definitely some stuff that you can see with that car. Despite everything I just said, it's 2-liter 4-cylinder is not bad. I mean, again, it's got about the same amount of power as the other vehicles in this segment, and acceleration's right where it needs to be. It's so fun. And so it does exactly, again, it does exactly as it should in this segment. So to sum things up, the best way to look at the new C-Class is as if it's basically a half-price S-Class in a sense, because that's kind of what this gives you. Is it doesn't give you the complete S-Class experience. The ride quality is not as good. The powertrain, right, it's not what you get in the new S-Class, especially if you get the 4-liter V8 version of the S-Class. But if you look at everything else that this car offers, the ride quality and all that, again, it's like 90% of the way there to the S-Class. And so I think that if you look at the C300 from that lens, then you really appreciate what this offers, because it offers a really solid luxury experience in the mid $50,000 range in this, you know, particular case with how this car is optioned out. Let me know what you guys think about the new C-Class.